Today we'll do our introduction to LEGO Serious Play session, and it will have several parts. In the first part, I'm going to ask you to do one very simple thing. I'll ask you to build a tower out of each of your own sets here. There are a few constraints. The tower has to be built on a platform, and you can only use green and orange bricks. And you have to finish with the flags. Okay? Do you understand what you need to do?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
Nope.
So there are a few rules. When you're building, you're not supposed to discuss anything with anybody. So we're building in silence. When we're done building, we will go around and everybody will present their creation, maybe say a few words, and then we'll draw some conclusions and kind of reflect on what we do. And everything else that we're going to do in this exercise will follow the same cycle of me giving you some instructions, a challenge, a problem to solve, so to speak, and then you build, you tell your story, present your model, and then we reflect. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 minutes to build your models. As you might imagine, the objective of this first part was kind of to reacquaint you with Lego building, how much fun it is, I hope. If you take a look at everybody's creations, you'll see how different they all are. There is not a single pair of towers that would look more or less alike. For the second part of the exercise, I'm going to give you a very specific set of instructions. I'm going to give you a picture of an animal that you probably have never seen before. If you could pass it around. So what I want you to do now is, well, you will need to break apart your models, and I just want you to follow the instructions shown in these pictures and build an animal. That's all I'm going to say. It's an animal of some kind that looks exactly like this picture. Any questions?
No.
Okay, you have your 2 minutes. Okay, so now that you've completed building this little animal, how did you feel about building it? You have no idea what it is. It's an animal, but was it easy? Was it difficult to build it, given the instructions?
No, pretty confident.
So, you know your animal is pretty close to instructions, right?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll say hippopotamus just because of the mouth.
It works for me.
Yeah.
Intelligence, I have no idea. Even though, you know,
Reminds me of Hungry Hippos.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so here is the next bit. I want you to take the next 2 minutes, maybe adjusting your model somehow, maybe redoing it completely, or maybe leave it alone. But I want you to use this model to tell a very simple story. I want you to use this model to explain what makes you excited about studying computer science or software engineering or being a part of the software engineering industry. Okay? Okay, it's time to stop building and enjoy your creations. Look at them, what you've done. And so now is one of the most important things that we do with LEGO Serious Play. It's trying to tell a story using the model that you've created. So what I would like everybody to do is to take a very, very quick turn, say 20 seconds. And what I would like you to do, going around the table, is to pick up your model and explain, okay, so this is what I built, and this how this model helps show why I am excited to be a computer science student, study software engineering, or anything else along those lines.
With mine, I have this kind of represents like thinking, and I'm thinking of ideas, and here's the light bulb, and here is the product of what I'm programming, I guess, and sometimes it takes a bridge to get there, and it might not always come without some support of the bridge.
I guess we started with the hippopotamus, which more so represents like reality and nature. And I kind of transformed it into like a sailboat or like a car kind of. So it's computer science to me is drawing like a connection between what's natural and what's kind of invented by humans. So.
For the last part of this exercise, you will build a model that is going to represent a nightmare experience. A nightmare experience in a computer science class. Maybe it was a nightmare project. Maybe it was a nightmare teammate. Maybe it was a nightmare professor. So anything like this, anything that would give you chills, something that you would not want to experience too much, okay? Not anymore. I don't want to hear any names. I don't want to hear any specifics that you would not otherwise would want to share with everybody. It doesn't have to be real, okay? You can make it up. Maybe it's a nightmare that you would want to avoid, okay? Don't think about this too much. If you're struggling to think of an idea, well, don't think, just start building, okay? If you realize that you're spending too much time thinking, you're doing something wrong. So don't think, just start building and the ideas will come to you. I guarantee you that. Okay? So please break down your models. Any questions about this?
No.
Okay, you have 2 minutes. So who would like to go first?
All right. Well, this one you've got the student here, and he doesn't have any legs, so he can't move. He's thrown his arms up in despair, and you have this huge wall, which is like a big program or algorithm. Maybe you're very pressed for time, and you have to learn the fast Fourier transform in a day. And at the top of it, there's the professor with his lance. He's ready to impale you. And on the other side, there's the goal. But because of the very complicated program, you have no legs, you have no time to learn all of it. You have a lot to learn, a lot to understand, but you can't because you don't have any legs. And your professor is about to impale you with this lance of failure, and you can't get to the gold. You can't get the A, you can't complete the assignment, because once again, you have no legs.
Interesting. So does it mean that there is absolutely no way around or over the wall?
Well, you're out of time, you've just got... It's a nightmare, that's the thing.
That's right. Yeah, this is a very, very good point. This is a nightmare. It's not necessarily a situation that anybody ever found themselves in, but this is something that you want to avoid. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. I hope nobody ever has a nightmare like this.
I still have my legs. So.
Yes, that's good. Okay. What do
Okay,
you have?
so my nightmare scenario is you're trying to, this is like the end program that works and is nice and nicely coded, but I'm stuck in this like loop where nothing's working, I can't see the end product, and there's a few holes in here where I might be able to see if I look at the right angle, but I'm like stuck in this, trying to make something work when it's not working, no matter how much I debug, so that's my not happy scenario.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for sharing. I think these are all very interesting scenarios that, again, I hope nobody ever had to experience, at least not here in this group. So as a result of this, if you look at this, where we started with just building something very, very simple, following very simple instructions, to building these fairly complex models, complex in the sense that they represent very complex scenarios that would be rather difficult to explain just in words. But when you have these small models in front of you, all of a sudden it seems like it makes it much easier to convey these ideas to the rest of us here. So again, the objective of this whole exercise was to kind of put you into this comfort zone of explaining the metaphors, building these metaphorical models and explain your ideas. And that's what we just did.